What is up, my butter biscuits? In today's video, we're going to be talking about Jeffree Star yet again, because it seems that he actually, what was that about? He actually called out James Charles again. I literally realized that I didn't eat breakfast today, and I'm sitting here drinking this energy drink right here, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have tried accelerators. Y'all, they are pretty good. Like, I know everyone says that, like, energy drinks are bad for you, but every now and then I need one. You know what I mean? Anyways, Jeffree Star called out James Charles again on Rich Lux's live on TikTok. I do have a recording of it, so I will be playing it within today's video. But I do want to say, like I said before, like, I don't know, I just still kind of feel the same way. I'm like, why all of a sudden is he like really pushing this? Do you know what I mean? Is it maybe because like James Charles is coming out with his brand and maybe he senses competition in the water? Yes, I do understand, and people have told me before that Jeffree Star has called out James Charles before all of this. I totally get that. However, I'm just kind of like, it seems to be a little bit more frequent now. You know what I mean? He said it on the oh my god, why was I gonna say Blend Bunny podcast? On the Bunny XO podcast, I literally forgot just for a second. I was like, what's the name of her podcast? I think Dumb Blonde. On the Dumb Blonde podcast, he's obviously made several statements about James Charles now, and he's calling his paints predator paints. Now, I do want to say this too. If you guys did not see my previous video before about this, obviously I did do a review of the James Charles paints, and of course I did get some backlash for even purchasing the product, but I'm just like, okay, all of a sudden, y'all, like, I literally asked people, I was like, if this gets 500 likes, so I felt like, okay, like, I'm not gonna lie to people and like, oh, it got to 500 likes, and actually it got to almost 2,000 likes. I'm not gonna not do it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay, so actually people really want me to review it. And in my opinion, okay, maybe I'm sounding like a little bit too, I don't know, like, I don't want to say cocky or conceited, but I'm like, maybe, I don't know, I'm putting myself too much on a pedestal here, but I guess maybe because people trust my reviews, because as you guys know, I can't get a sponsorship to save my life, especially coming from a makeup brand. And on top of that too, I have zero friends in the industry. I literally am not friends with anybody who is in the beauty space whatsoever, so obviously I have no biasness whatsoever. And to be quite honest with you, I don't care if Jeffree Star hates me. I don't care if James Charles hates me. I really don't care. So that's why I think people really wanted an honest review of me and of the opposite of say the Predator paint. Oh my gosh, of the James Charles paints from me. You know what I mean? So that's why I did it. So just throwing it out there, y'all. I'm like literally not supporting him in any type of way. I'm just like, okay, I did this little review. Actually, I'm thinking about trying it again, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it in a different way. I may do it. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you guys. After seeing some comments and like comments about me in a Reddit forum, I was like, maybe I won't do it again. But I'm like, okay, I kind of have this product. People are telling me to try it this way and try it that way. So I'm like, maybe I should just try it again. And then also a lot of people want me to do a comparison of the About Face versus the James Charles. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, I said it before. I'll say it again. I am being way more active on TikTok, but I do. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm rambling today. But I do want to address this as well too. I've received a couple DMs and a couple, well, DMs on Instagram, not on TikTok. I have mine turned off on TikTok. But I received a couple DMs on Instagram, y'all. Literally two saying something along the same lines of people are like, oh my God, you're so different on YouTube versus how you are on TikTok. Like, I wasn't expecting that out of you. And I'm like, whoa, like we got lost here. I feel like I got a little bit off of track about like who I am here on this channel. And the reason, let me reinstate this here. People are like, y'all, people have told me before, oh, I can't believe you cuss here. I can't believe you cuss there. Like, y'all, if I'm posting on Instagram stories, I'm just completely unfiltered, like literally laying in my bed, like just making a rant video or whatever. And that's what I'm doing on TikTok too. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you talk this way and talk that way as far as cussing. And I'm like, y'all, I literally, before YouTube cracked down on all the cursing rules, I literally, like every other word out of my mouth was F this, bitch this. Like, you know what I mean? That was me before YouTube had cracked down. Obviously on YouTube, they started getting a little bit more strict with content, and all of my stuff was getting demonetized. So of course I needed to like tone it down and kind of like water down who I am as a person and how I talk every single day. Do you know what I mean? So I want to address that before like going more on with TikTok, because honestly, y'all, I'm just completely unhinged on TikTok. Like, for real, I'm literally my full authentic self. I'm literally just cracking jokes, making fun, just doing little rant videos. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, some people really forgot who I was. All my videos prior to this whole like, you know, YouTube thing, that's really who I am. And then I became a little bit more professional, obviously, in these style of videos, because I'm like, okay, I don't want them to get demonetized. Anyways, I wanted to touch on that topic because I really am enjoying myself on TikTok, and I don't know if I will stay consistent forever, but I really am trying. And it's just total like different content over there. Literally, it's just, I don't know, daily life thing. So if you guys feel like following, go follow that account over there. Make sure you guys check out my travel channel with my brother. It'll be linked down below. Also on TikTok too, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm being really consistent with that one, and I'm putting a lot of work into that TikTok because I have high hopes for it. I like really hope it grows. Anyways, let me shut up. Let's go ahead and get into the tea. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Okay, so I just thought about it too, like right after doing this intro. I'm gonna stop apologizing for rambling. Like, honestly, y'all, I read the first comments for maybe about the first like hour or two of posting a video. After that, I don't read them because if I'm keeping it real with you guys, like sometimes I just want to fight with people. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just not. It's better for my mental health literally to just not respond and look at comments after a couple hours. The first couple hours, I'll read them and respond because those are normally the people who are like, you know, my friends, my people that have been on this channel for a long time where we can actually have a conversation. And then later on, I feel like some people just get a little too crazy. And I'm like, you know what? Let me not. But anyways, I read the comments and people are like, oh my God, stop apologizing for rambling. Like, you don't need to do that. You know, we like long form content. Like, you can be as long as you want. And I really do appreciate that. But I want to let you guys know, I have this side of me that really does overthink, that I'm like, okay, people really like short form content now. Like, more views are on short form content. So I feel bad when I ramble a lot because obviously the video is going to be longer. And then on top of that too, like, of course, I've seen comments several times, like y'all, probably hundreds of times of people like, oh my God, can you just get to the point? They even put me in Reddit before too. They were like, oh, I like Skeleton's videos, but like, honestly, he just takes too long to get to the point. I'm like, that's literally who I am. Right before filming this video, I was on the phone with my friend for literally 1 hour, 57 minutes, y'all. I was on the phone for 57 minutes because I was telling my friend one single story, but I told like 10 stories in between. That's just how I am. I know a lot of you guys are like, okay, you probably have ADHD or ADD. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I do too. I just don't care to go and like get it diagnosed because like I'm not going to take medicine for it. So I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? But that's just who I am. And I need to stop apologizing for who I am just because I overthink. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, if you guys don't like rambling, then obviously you guys can just unsubscribe and go watch content somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, so into this, y'all, I do want to talk about this because I was scrolling through social media and I did hear this little clip right here that I'm going to play in just a couple minutes from Rich Lux's Instagram. And I want to say, y'all, because Eugenia Cooney is in the live as well, too. You guys will hear in the clip. And I keep on seeing so many comments about Eugenia online. And I want to touch on this topic for just like 1 second, only because I see so many people talking about it. And I'm just saying, like, straight up, she seems like a very, very sweet, kind-hearted person. But I really feel like she needs help. And I keep on seeing so many people like defending her, saying, you know what, at least this is healthier than a 600-pound person. And at least she's healthier than a fat person, you know. And I'm like, okay, there can both be right at the same time. Two things can be right at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, she could be unhealthy as well as a 600-pound person. And I keep seeing this argument over and over again that like, if you want to get her offline, then you got to get fat people offline. I'm not even trying to say that she should be like taken off TikTok or anything like that, but I feel like it's obviously like somebody needs to step in and help her. Like, I feel so bad because honestly, like, I've seen her on live before. I've seen a couple of her TikToks, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it with you guys. Like, I've only heard about her before about the Shane Dawson docuseries that or documentary that he did on her. Before that, I didn't really know who she was, but I'm like, she seems like the most sweet girl ever. She seems really kind-hearted and pure, and I'm like, this poor girl like really needs help. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that it sucks that I'm like, it seems like nobody in her personal life is helping her, you know? Anyways, I want to say I don't think that she should be like, you know, kicked off of TikTok, because I do see a lot of TikToks of people saying this is triggering, this is like, you know, triggering this and triggering that. And I'm like, okay, I understand that, because obviously looking at her is a little bit alarming. But at the same time too, I'm like, she is a person and she should be able to, you know, create content if she wants. You know what I mean? And I do agree with the people who are saying, well, it's the same thing as like a 700-pound person being on TikTok. Like, they're, you know, it's the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I do agree. It is literally the same thing. It's just opposite ends. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and play the TikTok right here. Well, I don't know if it was a TikTok. No, I took a screen recording from Rich Lux's Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and play the recording so you guys can hear what he had to say about James Charles, because, yeah, he is going in once again.
I'm gonna say it on Rich's live. I will never review the Predator paints.
Oh,
If you know, you know.
I will never review those at all. And they're not even eye safe.
Wow, are you serious?
Baby, those red lakes and that, and those, I'd like to have eyes when I'm young, when I'm older. So no, we're not reviewing the Predator Paints LLC.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad I'm not buying from that guy. Like,
Y'all give him $1. What you buy one of those paints, you're supporting a flight for a 16-year-old, potentially. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay,
so
wow.
terrible.
There you go. Y'all kept asking Jeffree over and over and over. So he just answers.
That product was made by MAC Cosmetics 20 years ago. They had paints. P. Louise then reinvented it, and there's nothing new or exciting about it. I think it's just 5 years too late, honestly. That's just no shade. I think it's washed up, this thing. And I can't support someone that's just not a decent human being.
There you go.
Honestly, I think it's great that, you know, people like you guys do speak out against that stuff because it's just terrible that there's somebody with like that big of a platform and some of these people that are just, clearly like terrible people, like doing like really bad things.
As y'all can hear from right there, he is saying that he is not going to be reviewing the Predator paints. His words, not mine. I didn't say it. Also, I do want to touch on the topic though. I do feel like this was kind of a bad move for James Charles. I do agree with him there. As you guys know, when I first did my thoughts and opinions video about James Charles painted brand before doing the review of it, I even said in that video, I was like, I think this is not a good idea. This is not very user friendly. He keeps on trying to sell it as in like, oh, everybody can use this. If you're a beginner, if you're young, if you're old, beginners cannot use this. This will be a very difficult product to use for a beginner. And I've literally already said that. And honestly, if I'm keeping it real with you guys too, I just feel like this packaging to me is just, I don't know, I just don't like it. Like y'all know, I already said, I'm like, this is not a good product as to where this right here, the about face ones, they have a little wand. So it's like very user friendly. You just boop, pop it on. This one right here is just like you barely touch it and all of it comes out. It's just, I don't know, maybe he did that to get more sales. I don't know. Overall though, I do want to say I find it a little peculiar, I guess I would say, that Jeffree Star keeps on bringing this up because I really do feel like it is for a reason. Whether that be like, oh, he really wants to like, you know, get him in trouble, or maybe he's really just trying to like, you know, stop the competition. Who really knows? And I'm just keeping it real. Y'all know I feel like I came to a place with Jeffree Star where I'm like, okay, like, you know what? I feel like he's learning. I feel like he's growing. I feel like him moving to Wyoming, he is becoming a better person in my opinion. But I still do think there is a side of Jeffree that he does do things on purpose. Like there's a reason for it. Do you know what I mean? Like say for example, like before in the past when he was talking about Kylie Jenner's like brushes and stuff and like threw them in the trash, or a Kylie product, I forget which it was. I was like, okay, like obviously this is drawing up the views and he was doing that to be dramatic. And obviously, let's keep it real, he's kind of like shutting down the competition. Do you know what I mean? Obviously at that time when Kylie Cosmetics had came out, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, they were competitors, you know, they were pretty much on the same level. But then he goes and does that. I'm kind of like, okay, like you're being really, really dramatic, and that's obviously for a reason. So I'm kind of thinking maybe there's a reason on this. Also, too, I'm so curious to know like this recording, y'all. I am so sorry for being so nosy. I understand at the end of the day, it's this person's story to tell, but I'm like, I don't know. Like I was thinking about it more and more and I'm like, okay, if I had a recording of something that was actually incriminating towards a person, like can't you still go to the authorities about it? Do you know what I mean? Because he's always bringing up this recording that he like has on James Charles and I'm like, what is it? Like I'm just really, really curious. Anyways, y'all, that is pretty much it for this video. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.